Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Macomb Area Conference Basketball on Channel 6 CPHS. Tonight, we're at jam-packed Port Huron High School as the Big Reds take on their crosstown rivals, the Port Huron Northern Huskies. This is Randy Fernandez along with David Keys, and we'll bring you all the action of tonight's exciting showdown. But David, you got to enjoy doing games like this. Packed house, you can feel the intensity in the air, and again, you wish, we talked about this earlier, you wish every game was like this.
Without a question, Randy, this is the high school basketball atmosphere that we all look for every time we come to the high school gymnasium. Both crowds are here in big numbers. The crowd is pumped and ready to go.
Well, David, last year Port Huron High took 2 of 3 decisions against Northern. However, Jim Early has never beaten Northern on the home court.
Boy, that's the one, the monkey, he can't get off his back. He just hasn't been able to garner a victory against them. Certainly, he has got to be the prohibitive favorite tonight, though. Although, you can say whatever you want, you can throw out all the records, but I still think that Port Huron High has to come in as a favorite in this game, Randy, simply due to their size down low. Coming into the game, starting Landshut at 6'6", Kevin having a good year, Carl Williams at 6'5", and Van Williams at 6'6". Just an outstanding front line for the Big Reds.
Well, Port Huron High comes in undefeated in the MAC Red contest, 7-0, 12-1 overall. The Huskies come in 3-4 in the MAC Red, 6-6 overall. It's the Huskies against the Big Reds. First meeting tonight, they'll match up again 3 weeks from tonight at Port Huron Northern. In the 2 earlier games tonight, Port Huron High came away victorious in the freshman game, and Northern even the score, coming in with a hard-fought victory in the JV contest for Coach Craig Delkey. Again, Northern and High up. Stay with us. Let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Mr. Eric Rucker, for the introductions of tonight's starting lineups and the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Port Huron High School for tonight's inter-city showdown between the Northern Huskies and the Port Huron High Big Reds. The athletic skills displayed today by the participants will serve them for only a few years. The sportsmanship displayed today will provide a lesson for a lifetime for all in attendance. Remember, folks, good sports are winners. At this time, we ask that you please stand, and gentlemen, remove your caps and respectfully pay honor to America as we enjoy the beautiful voice of Senior Debbie Carson and the national anthem.
Bumper
Michigan High School Athletic Association recognizes cheerleading as a sport for their association. In honor of the efforts, hard work, and dedication to their sport, Big Red Athletics would like to now honor the cheerleaders from both teams. Starting with the Northern Huskies, a junior, Jana Gilbert. A junior, Sarah Schultz. A junior, Keely Carson. A junior, Marnie Galbraith. A senior, Heather Dorn. A sophomore, Melinda Seraphin. A senior, Tara Reyna. A junior, Maria Kors. And now for the Big Red cheerleaders. A sophomore, Mandy Lloyd. A sophomore, Carrie Taylor. A junior, Melissa Hill. A junior, Georgia Hoffman. A junior, Lakota Nichols. A junior, Michelle Rucker. A senior, Dawn Badger. A senior, Michelle Bro. A senior, Danielle Graham. A senior, Jean Heitke. A senior, Josie Hoffman. A senior, Melissa Moore. A senior, Tracy Smith. And our infamous third grader, Molly Bixler. Also tonight, our Big Red Indians are Gary and Terry Wright. The Northern cheerleading coach is Debbie Ernst. The Big Red cheerleading coaches are Kelly Rock, Tiffany Green, and Tom Miller. And I've just been informed we forgot Angie Monroe. Our apologies. Now let's greet tonight's participants. Your officials for tonight's game are Mr. Mike McDowell and Mr. Chet Boss. These individuals have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request your respect their honest efforts in administering this contest. Now let's greet the starting lineup. First for the visiting Northern Huskies under the coaching leadership of Mr. Dan Hampton. Wearing number 24, a 6'2" senior, Brady Nelson. Wearing number 32, a 6'2" junior, John Dumpo. Wearing number 34, a 6'3" senior, Chris Smith. Wearing number 44, a 6'3" senior, Ryan Beckham. And wearing number 50 tonight, a 5'8" senior, Troy Schneider. Now let's bring the Foothill High Big Reds under the coaching leadership of Mr. Jim Early. Wearing number 22, a 6'6" junior, Kevin Landshute. Wearing number 24, a 6'1" junior, Marshawn Trice. Wearing number 44, a 6'5" junior, Carl Williams. Wearing number 50, a 6'6" senior, Van Williams. And wearing number 30, a 6'1" senior, the captain, Tony Miller.
Well, David, the starting lineups have been introduced. We're moments away from the opening tap. And what do both teams have to do tonight to come away victorious?
Randy, for Port Huron Northern, I think the first thing you have to do is establish an outside game, loosen it up for the big fellas underneath. Once they get the outside game going, they can punch it in all day. They have a definite size advantage. For Northern, I think it's a case of controlling tempo and boxing out, Randy. If they can control the tempo of the game, keep this game in the 50s, I think they've got a good shot of being victorious. In addition, they're going to have to be on the glass like demons tonight because, they, as I said earlier, they have a serious size disadvantage.
Referees for tonight's contest are Mr. Chet Boss and Mr. Mike McDowell. Again, hi, Northern here on Channel 6 CPHS, their first meeting of the 1994 basketball season. It's going to be Van Williams against Chris Smith. The opening tap goes to the Big Reds and Tony Miller.
Randy, Northern jumping into a zone defense, certainly what I expected to see. It looks like a 1-1-2, 2-2-1 zone defense. Make Northern stroke the ball from outside. Miller
Tony with
can't get it to go.
Tony with the three, can't get it to go. Snyder the other way, puts up a left-hander, can't get it. Landshut on the rebound.
I think Troy Schneider looks good in that number 50. That's his kind of basketball. Hard nose the whole way. He's a big guy. That's a walk.
Good call by the referee. McDowell on the call there. Well, yes, if you just joined us, Troy Snyder normally wears number 10. Rumor has it left the jersey at home and is wearing number 5-0 tonight.
Man-to-man defense by the Big Reds. You won't see them play anything else the rest of the evening.
Tell you, David, what we've seen so far is a couple of shots and just haven't fallen. And it's because both teams feeling each other out a little bit. It's going to take a little while to settle each other's down.
Every year, Randy, these teams come in here sky high. It takes us about 4 minutes of basketball to get to the level of play that we're used to out of each team. Tony Miller doing a nice job there of taking the ball back outside, slowing his team down. Not a good entry pass by Landshut.
Well, stolen back by Williams. Landshut for three, all net.
Kevin Landshut for a big guy, Randy, can certainly stroke the ball from outside. Probably the second best outside shooter on the team. I like Trice from about 15 feet, but when you get out past 15 feet, I like Landshut and Miller.
And Aaron passed that time by Dunkel over the outstretched arms of Brady Nelson. Turnover to Port Huron High. Well, before Landshut hit that three-pointer, I was going to say that that 1-3-1 was giving High a little fits there, collapsing in. It was a nice steal, but High got it back and put up for the basket.
Oh, that's great basketball. Sloppy basketball, but great basketball. That certainly showcases the athletic talent that the Big Reds have.
Trice takes it up strong. 5-0 Port Huron High early on here in the first quarter. And Dan Hanton calls a timeout with 5:56 to go in the first quarter, and his team trailing by 5.
Randy, certainly not the start that Dan Hanton wanted to get. He wanted his team to control the tempo and get on the boards. They haven't done that so far in the game. They haven't got a quality shot at the other end, with the exception of maybe Dunkel's shot, although he had to put up the high archer. Just not running the offense, not getting the ball in the hands of Beckham, nor getting it in the hands of Schneider. The ball's got to stay in their hands for them to be successful.
Well, those I agree with you 100%. Those are the two leaders on the team. I don't think Beckham has touched the ball so far, and basically Schneider had that nice spin move, but couldn't get the left-hander to go. On the other end, Landshut hits the three. Trice makes a good move, spin move to get his first basket of the night. And I think it's a good timeout for Dan Hanton before this gets away from him early on here.
Yeah, Dan Hanton doesn't want to get himself a 10-point deficit in the first 3 minutes of the game. So I think that was a very wise timeout by him.
Hanton sends out again his starting five: Nelson, Snyder, Dunkel, Smith, and Beckham. For Coach Jim Early, the Williams brothers, Van and Carl, Mashawn Trice, Tony Miller, and Kevin Landshut.
A nice move by Beckham.
Nelson puts up his first shot and it goes.
Good shot and a good sign for Northern. You certainly want to get Brady Nelson off to a good start. Very streaky shooter, but when he's on, nobody's any deadlier in the Port Huron area.
They leave Miller wide open for the three. You've got to get a hand in his face.
Absolutely, Randy. He's been just absolutely on fire for the Big Reds recently. Really showcasing his talents that are immense.
Well, where Northern opened up in a 1-3-1, Port Huron High is in a tough man-to-man defense with Trice trailing Snyder all over the floor. Nice pick by Beckham that time.
Oh, absolutely nice pick, but tough shot.
Dunkel, high glasser, won't go. Ripped down by Carl Williams.
Good rebound, Carl Williams. That was huge. Oh, nice pass.
And we've got a block foul underneath. I believe it's going to be on Brian Beckham, number 34, his first, team first, here with 4:53 to go in the quarter.
Great pass that time by Tony Miller. Saw Carl Williams filling the lane, which you usually don't see the big guys do, but Carl Williams and Van Williams both run the floor so well. Got the ball to Carl, who drew the foul on Beckham.
Trice puts up a leaner, won't go. Rebound, Van Williams. Too easy that time for Van. Put it up with the left hand. Northern not doing a good job boxing out.
Alrighty, Coach Jim really doesn't care where his team puts the ball up from. He certainly wants good shots, but he knows he's got such great size on his team that the chances of them coming down with the rebound and getting an easy putback are very good. Good pick by Chris Smith that
Snyder
time.
puts up his second shot of the night, first one to go, 10-4, Fort Ewing High.
Great pick.
Van puts it up strong again. That was a replica of the last basket he had, only this time with the right hand. 4 points for Van Williams.
Oh, nice pass by Schneider.
Smith can't get it to go. Second rebound of the night for Carl Williams.
Nice job to recognize, didn't have numbers, pulled it back out, let Tony Miller run the show.
Well, we're definitely not going to see a four corners game from either one of these teams.
No, absolutely not. This is the kind of basketball we're used to here in Port Huron. Good up-tempo basketball, tough defense, good no call by the referee.
Three-pointer too strong. Nelson on the rebound for Northern. Ben Papinow is going to check in the senior forward at the next whistle for Coach Hanton.
Couple times down the floor, Randy. Northern's done a much better job of getting a body on Port Huron players, setting good, solid picks on the floor, and that's what they have to do to get Beckham and Schneider the easy jump shots.
Papinow comes in for Nelson as he takes a seat next to his coach. 12-4, a score with 3:20 to go in the first quarter. Papinow penetrates, nice left-hand move, nice basket by Papinow. I tell you, that's what you like to see from your sixth man, come right in and give you a little elevation, and Ben does that with the basket.
Absolutely, and gives his team a definite lift. Great shovel play by Ben Papinow. Now Northern's into the man-to-man, Randy. Didn't take long for Dan Hanton to abandon the zone defense, and I really think that's a good move.
Number 40, Doug Howard, a 6'2" senior forward, checks in for Mashawn Trice.
Howard's got to take that shot. No weak side board held that time for the Big Reds, but a nice job of boxing out by the Northern Huskies.
Snyder puts it up a little bit short. Rebound, Smith puts it back up. Hey, gets the kind roll. One thing I've noticed, David, early on, Troy Snyder's looking to shoot the ball.
He's looking to put it up tonight. He knows that he's got to be the big offensive weapon for the Huskies if they're going to be successful. Nice pass. A little low, but good hands by Van Williams.
Van puts it back up, can't get it to roll. Dunkel on the rebound. Two good opportunities that time for Port Huron High, just couldn't cash in. And Northern slowly creeping back into the ball game, only trailing by 4.
Not a good decision that time by Papinow.
Big rejection by Williams.
Big block by Williams.
Tony Miller too strong. Rebound Dunkel. He's hammered. The foul could either go on Howard or Carl Williams. It will go on Doug Howard, his first, team first.
A little out of control that time for Tony Miller, Randy. Needed to take the ball back up top, set up the offense.
And I'll tell you, Dunkel, again, who in my opinion plays tough game in and game out, hasn't scored tonight, but I'll tell you, he's been really the only rebounder for Coach Hanton.
Randy, he's been the real surprise, I think, this season for both squads. He certainly has elevated his game to a new level. There he is. Great move, great move.
How did he get that one to go?
I think what makes John Dunkel such a tough basketball player, Randy, is he's a great athlete.
12-4 game has come to 12-10. Carl Williams
That's where
puts
you
up
want
this
the
soft
ball.
jumper. Carl's first 2 points.
Jamie Bruckman looking inside. That's what you got to do, Randy. I think early in the game they successfully loosened up the zone defense. They pulled Northern out of the zone defense into a man-to-man. Now you got to get the ball inside. They haven't done that the last couple of trips.
And Coach Early substituting freely here with Bruckman and Howard. He's got 2 more players going to come in during the next whistle. Nice just pass underneath. Bunny missed by Smith. Dunkel picks it up, tied up. Finally a whistle. We got a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Northern. Number 22, Kevin Lanchu checks back in, and number 54, seeing his first action tonight, the senior Kyle Ratchie.
Number 54, Kyle Ratchie.
Snyder penetrates that.
Oh, nice dish.
Smith. Smith, who missed the one earlier, cashes in this time, 14-12 high. Bruckman for 3, in and out, rebound. Miller, nobody boxing him out, puts it back up, can't get it to fall. Dunkel on the rebound again for Northern.
Boy, John Dunkel's been a workhorse so far on the boards. It's his 4th this evening.
No continuation that time, says the referee.
Good call by the referee.
NBA, that would have counted. Troy Snyder fouled on the floor, and Ben Papanow will just inbound underneath the north basket. Number 20, Mark Schock, sees his first action tonight as he takes Ben's place. 13 seconds left in the quarter. 14-12, Northern looking to tie or get the lead. 3-point shot, net by Mark.
I tell you, Randy,
comes in.
Mark Schock, the junior.
Lead of the evening.
I was just about to say that it was going to be key tonight on how Mark Schock played. It would really be interesting to see how he handled the pressure of the big game with the big crowd here at Port Huron High. Certainly answered any question I may have had.
Well, I'll tell you, I saw Mark talking to his coach. I don't think the play was set for him. Nobody was on it. He didn't know how much time was left. Put it up all net, and I'll tell you, Ben Papanow comes in as the 6th man, takes his first shot, makes it. Mark comes in for Papanow, takes his first shot, and nails the 3. And I'll tell you, that's what 5 points from 2 players off the bench. That's what you like to see. And Northern, who trailed by as many as 6, at the end of 8 minutes, leads by 1, 15-14.
Yeah, I agree, Randy. Just a big lift from the bench. Without that lift, this game could be 10 to 12 point lead right now for Port Huron High. Certainly though, I think you have to look at the substitution of Ben Papanow coming into the game. Certainly elevated his team with a pretty offensive play and tough defensive work. But I think what Port Huron High, Randy, has to do is they achieve what they wanted to do right from the start of the game. They established their outside shooting, their perimeter shooting. They took Northern out of their zone defense. You just got to look to bang it into the Williams brothers and to land shoot. They had such a size advantage. You got to do that, and they just didn't do it at the end of the first quarter.
They went a little bit too much one-on-one, but I tell you, from watching the 8 minutes, I thought High dominated, but yet they trailed by 1.
Absolutely right, but they didn't play the last 2.5 minutes with the same intensity and not with a lot of offensive smarts. Ended up falling behind by 1.
And that's off the hands of Trice. Turnover to Northern. Well, again, if you're Port Huron High, to me, I just, like you said, pound it every time down the floor. The only person getting the rebounds underneath the glass is John Dunkel so far for Northern. He's kept them in underneath the glass.
Dunkel and Chris Smith have been the 2.
Beckham's fouled on the floor by Williams. High 2nd team foul here early on in the 2nd quarter.
And Williams is first.
I'll tell you, we've only had 4 fouls so far, so it's been a very clean game, so to speak.
Oh, very much a clean game. Schneider tried to force that one. Not a good decision.
Bruckman,
nice pass. That was beautiful.
I didn't think Bruckman was going to be able to give it up, but a nice pass that time.
Well, that was a beautiful pass by Bruckman and a beautiful finish by Trice. Very impressed that time down the floor.
Snyder, a little one-on-one himself, hits it. Well, you got 2 of the best MAC Red guards guarding each other in Snyder and Miller.
The two best.
3-point opportunity, going to be well short. Rebound Van Williams, he goes up, hammered underneath by Smith. He'll shoot 2.
Cost himself the bucket though, Randy, by not taking the rebound and going up. He took one dribble, cost him probably 2 seconds, allowed the Northern Husky to come back and draw the foul.
His first, team second. Van Williams shoots 2.
Well, Van hits the first free throw opportunity tonight for either team.
Randy, Van Williams, one of the better free throw shooters on the Big Red, shooting 72% on the season, so not uncharacteristic for him.
And Van puts his team up by 1, 18-17. I'll tell you, Marshawn Trice is all over Snyder, not trying to let him get free.
He's playing very nice defense right now. Any buckets that Schneider made have been created on his own and just really tough shots.
That one's kind of forced up. Rebound by Carl Williams. High looking to run. 5-footer bank by Miller won't go. Miller gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in.
Nice play, Tony Miller. Very athletic, stayed with the shot.
I still think Tony's trying to force it up a little bit too much, but I'll tell you, when you've got his skills, what can you say? Northern just standing around a little bit. They got to move.
Not a good foul that time by Carl Williams. Good call by the referee. Got to move your feet, Randy. You got to get around and get in front of the player. Can't reach around and slap at the ball because you'll end up with the hand.
Papanaugh and Damian Powell are going to check in for Schock and John Dunkel.
22, Damian Powell.
Randy, the junior Powell certainly gives them some size on the floor at 6'4".
Papanaugh's too strong to the hole. Rebound by Van Williams.
Big Red's really looking to run the ball this evening. Nice hesitation. Great block, though, by Powell.
Scramble on the floor. Carl puts it back up a little bit too strong. Van gets it back. He goes up. He's fouled by Beckham. Going to be Beckham's second. I thought there might have been a travel call that should have happened just before that, but Beckham, I think, is going to pick up his second foul with 5:44 to go in the half. And Van Williams, who's been the only one at the charity stripe tonight, will step back, and Coach Hen calls his second timeout with our score, Port Huron High 20, the Northern Huskies 17.
Randy, really impressed with the bench play tonight for Northern. Damian Powell comes into the game halfway through the second quarter and contributes right off the bat with a big block on the shot by the Port Huron High player. That's certainly the contribution that Northern is going to have throughout this game if they want an opportunity to win.
Well, again, Coach Jim Early hasn't used any of his timeouts here in the half. Coach Hen has used 2 to try to settle his troops down. And I'll tell you, if anybody thought, based on the record, that this wasn't going to be a close ball game, I mean, every time you've got a rivalry, whether it's in college, the pros, or in high school sports, I mean, these kids just want this game so badly. And again, Northern High have come to play tonight, and I tell you, I think it's going to come down to about the last 2-3 minutes of the game.
Well, they often do, Randy. I can't recall the last time that we did one of these games between the Huskies and the Big Reds, and it was a blowout situation. I just can't recall that type of game. Even back when there was Brian Jameson and Todd Bloomquist and all the big players from Northern, the Big Reds always hung tough, never let them get a big victory.
Well, Van at the line to shoot 2. Van perfect from the line. Nice rotation again by Van. Puts his team up by 5.
4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight for Van Williams. This is a critical possession for the Huskies. Don't want to get down by 7.
Powell puts up his shot.
Oh,
Damian
boy.
Powell. I'll tell you, Coach Hand's got to like his substitution pattern because everybody that comes in has got the hot hand.
The junior, Powell, steps right into the game, gets a big block, and then drains the 14-footer.
Rashawn Trice.
Oh, boy, I tell you, Randy, he's got big-time skills. He's got the softest touch in the back red.
I tell you who's been very quiet so far, though, from Northern is Brian Beckham. You know, I don't understand why Brian's way out at the top of the key. To me, he should be pounding it underneath to try to get the glass.
Give a lot of credit that time to Van Williams stepping in, giving up his body for the team, drawing the offensive foul.
Damian Powell draws the offensive foul, team fourth, his first. Number 52, Josh Rawlings, 6'4" junior, checks in, as does number 32, who started the ball game, John Dunkel.
Oh,
Tony,
great
nice
pass
to James Brookman.
Tony Miller, Randy, is just a complete player on the court, leading the team with 46 assists.
And we have Dale Voss, the coach of the Community College Skippers, up with us, and I know that he would love Tony Miller to sign with SC4 next year.
Got to follow Marshawn Trice. He's done a great job so far with Troy Schneider, Randy, really bellying up to him. That time a little too aggressive, picking up the foul.
His first, team's fifth.
It's only Marshawn's first. Dunkel blocked by Carl Williams. Big block by Carl. Here comes Tony Miller. Bodies all over the floor. We're going to have a jump ball, and that possession here will favor Northern.
Tony Miller makes that cut, Randy, if he doesn't have his shoes slip out from under him. Looks like he's limping a little bit after that, too.
4:10 left in the half. 26-19 Port Huron High. They've led throughout. However, Northern at the quarter caught him with Mark Schock's three-pointer to go ahead by one, 15-14, and that's been the only lead Northern has had tonight.
Not a good pass that time. That's an underclassman mistake right there. The junior trying to throw the skip pass, throwing it into the bench.
Nelson checks in for Papanaugh. You're right, David. You're taught never to throw across court that way and well over the head of Papanaugh. Miller puts it up, won't go. Rebound, fought for, scramble on the floor, picked up by Brady Nelson.
Trice once again almost kept that ball alive for the Big Reds. Pretty impressed with the junior this evening. Good entry into Rawlings. He's got to square and take a look at the bucket. There it was.
Can't get it to go, and Van Williams rips down his sixth rebound underneath the glass tonight. Well, I'll tell you, they can't get the ball to Snyder on the offensive end because Marshawn Trice is all over him, doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. Oh, good pass by Bruckman. And nice square up and bucket that time by Carl Williams. Carl Williams is a big-time player, Randy.
When Carl gets it in that low, it's almost automatic. Biggest lead of the night for Port Huron High. They lead by 9.
Oh, big block.
Three-pointer blocked by Van Williams. We've got some substitutions here as Van Williams gets a round of applause from the home court fans. As number 34, Chris Smith, checks back in for Northern. And number 20, Ralph Garza, checks in for Port Huron High along with Kevin Lanchute. What do we got out there, Dave? A little John going on? Or?
No, I think we may have a cut on the mouth. And as you know, Randy, if there is any blood, the player's got to come off the floor. New rule in the PHSAA this year.
Also, number 54, Bill Nessel's in for Coach Hanton.
But it's really unusual, Randy, to see Troy Schneider with blood coming from some part of his body.
Nelson too strong, rebound Garza.
Well, I tell you, Randy, that's about the fourth player I've seen slip tonight on the floor.
Bruckman just inside the three-point line short, rebound Dunkel.
Strong play by Dunkel that time. I think he wrestled that ball away from Bill Nessel.
Nessel puts his shot up, won't go, fight for the rebound to Dunkel. He saves it, but right in the hands of James Bruckman.
To Williams, he's got to get it up to Garza.
Garza wide open, hammered by Snyder. Nothing Troy could do, or he'd give up the easy two. He'll make Ralph Burnham at the charity stripe.
Foul number 50, Troy Snyder. His first, team's fifth.
Ralph Garza 4 for 6 from the charity stripe so far this season, 67%.
Mark Schock's going to give the co-captain Troy Snyder a breather.
Only his first. The recent games that I've been involved with, Randy, with covering for Channel 6, he has had the foul problems.
Port Huron High 4 for 4 through the nets tonight at the charity stripe, thanks to Van Williams, and I jinxed Ralph that time. 4 for 5 for Port Huron High so far here tonight. 1:53 to go in the half. High by 9. Ralph 0 for 2, but follows up his own shot. That's unheard of.
That'll drive
you can't
Coach
block
nuts.
him out.
Good play by Bruckman.
I'll tell you, Bruckman, a lift off the bench, 6 points in the first half for Coach Jim Early. Hey, credit Garza, though, going after his missed free throw.
Absolutely, knew that ball was short, didn't drop his head and quit. Went right to the basketball and got his players a big loose ball. Good pass. Garza doing the smart thing, bringing it back out.
Northern has only scored 4 points, David, in this half, or in this quarter, excuse me. Bruckman feels it a little bit too strong that time. Williams, nobody boxing him out. Spin move, gonna be short. And we've got a foul underneath it. I think it's gonna be on Landshoot, number 22.
I didn't see it, Randy, but I'm certain that the call was a correct one. These are two of the best referees in the area. Both Chet Boss and Mike McDowell do a super job.
Rashawn Trice and Carl Williams check back into the lineup.
Big red substitution number 24, Marshawn Trice.
1 minute to go in the half.
Randy, I really think that Northern desperately needs a bucket right now. They have not had any type of offensive prowess this quarter. Another turnover. Unofficially, that's their 6th this quarter.
Can't get it to go is Port Huron High. They put it back up. Williams over 2 players.
Randy
Smith just shaking his head. Can't believe that Van Williams got that to go.
Just a wonderful shot, but as I was trying to say, Northern desperately needs a bucket. They would love to cut this to under double figures going into the locker room. Nice grab by Nessel.
Can't get the bunny to go, though.
Looking for the last shot now.
Offensive foul on Tony Miller.
I think that's a good call by the referee.
Caught
him with the hook.
Even though the crowd doesn't like it, Tony picks up his first, team 7th.
Really no foul trouble for either team going into the locker room at half, Randy.
Red substitution number 54, Kyle Lecce.
Well, I know Northern might hold for one, but I know if Port Huron High gets the ball, they're not going to hold it for one.
Yeah, I'm sitting there yelling at Tony Miller to bring the ball back out. Fat chance.
Papanoff blocked underneath by Carl Williams. Carl gets the rebound. 4 seconds. Van's going to have to put it up for 3. It'll go if it counts. A little bit too strong. And Northern, who led by 1, 15 to 14 at the end of the quarter, only scores 4 points in the second 8 minutes and finds themselves trailing after 16 minutes of action by a score of 32 to 19. Stay with us for second half action. This is Channel 6 CPHS.
Gulf War, the National Guard and Reserve were a vital part of our military effort. All because of their training in management, operational skills, and teamwork. The same kind of training that makes them better when they come back to work for you. When your employees need time off to serve, be a hero and give them the freedom to protect ours.
Brothers and fellow mountain goats, this year's recipient of the treasured Black Horn Award, Richard Lynch. Come on up here, Dick.
What are you doing this weekend that's so important you can't take a little time to test your home for radon? After all, it is the second leading cause of lung cancer, and a radon test kit is inexpensive. You could pick one up on your way to the lodge.